Excellent. All right. Well, we are into my favorite part of the evening, and this is where I get to hand over to our guest expert for tonight. So tonight, our guest expert is Jane Whittred, aka Mrs. Red. So she used to be a real teacher. Well, that doesn't sound too good, does it? She used to be a teacher teaching kids, and she had an art school in like a physical store, which she had for 10 years. And well, actually 5 of those years were as a bricks and mortar business where people could come in, like kids could come in and learn how to do art. And there were art classes that Jane was teaching, and she had for those adults a interesting wine and sip and art. Not quite sure how that ended up, but that's the sort of thing that I would go along to. So Jane is an online marketer. She's got an online shop and an online store. She is doing online art classes as well too. So she's truly changed her business. I think it was just fortunate that we had the last year that we had, so that Jane's able to now do what she was doing offline and to do it online with all the advantages and benefits of that there. So tonight, Jane's going to be talking to us about Pinterest. It is a social media platform that she uses and knows well. And she's really going to take us through a step-by-step on how to set up a business profile in Pinterest, but also how to drive traffic to your website and why you should be doing it and why it matters. So welcome along, Jane.
Thank you very much, Nick. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see some familiar faces and possibly some names of people who are hiding with their cameras. So I'm going to run through basically a little bit about who I am. Then we'll go into a little bit about the basics of like just what Pinterest is and what it does. Then I would like to go through the 8 easy steps of creating a pin and pinning it. And then we will actually do that live. So we'll actually post a pin on my Pinterest page. And then there's going to be question and answers time. So it's going to be really interactive. I'm going to be getting you to use the chat screen. So remember, if you're not familiar with it, it's down the bottom bar, there's participants, and then it says chat. So you've got to click that little one to get your little chat screen up. So we're going to be using that a bit tonight. And also, if there's a question that you've got that I'm actually talking about that really relates to what I'm up to, please interrupt me. Just unmute yourself and ask me the question. If it's a question that you think can probably wait till the end, then maybe write it down and then we can answer it at the end. All righty. So this is the bit where I share the screen, I guess, Nick. Okay. No. What can everyone see there?
Yep, that looks good. You've got a blank screen there.
I've got a whiteboard. I want the... Okay. Can everyone see that?
Looking good.
Yep, great. All right. Now, yes, I'm an art teacher. No, I am not a PowerPoint expert. So forgive me if I come across as a little bit of a novice to this. Okay, so everyone can see that it's a black screen with red text. And I actually can still see the chat, which is excellent. And all your faces down the side. So I wasn't thinking I was going to be able to do that. Can you see that chat on my screen?
No, I can't see it. No, I can't see it on your screen.
No, okay, all right. I'll leave it there just off to the side. Okay, so Mrs. Red's 8 easy steps to get your business on Pinterest. Come on, why are you not doing it? There we go. Who is Mrs. Red? Little bit of information about myself. I've got a Bachelor of Arts and a postgrad in Diploma of Education in Queensland. I live on the Gold Coast. We live out in Tallebudgera Valley. So Nick has got a few connection problems tonight because he lives up the hill and I live out in the valley, and we haven't got the best of weather at the moment. So I hope that we go okay from here on in. I live on the Gold Coast with my husband and my 3 kids. Mrs. Red's art room is 10 years old this month. So it's, the 10-year anniversary of the business. And I was, as Nick explained, I was local for the first 5 years, both in Miami and Burleigh here on the Gold Coast, teaching children art and adult art classes, which involved a little bit of wine or whatever was your drink of choice. And then after some personal circumstances forced me to close, I had a 6-month hiatus and then turned the business to an online business selling art supplies and started with a monthly subscription art box, which ran for a good 3 years. 2020 was spent working on the engine room of the business. Now, this was a plan that I had right from the word go. No idea that COVID was going to do, well, that COVID was even a thing when I decided to do this. So it was just really freaky that this was going to be my year of working on the business rather than the art side of things. I took 2 online courses, first with an American business coach called Hayley Luckadoo, and the second was a UK SEO queen, Maddie Shine. So I did 6 months with Hayley, and then I've done the last 6 months with Maddie, and I've continued on with Maddie in a monthly program with her. And I'm currently working with local Facebook strategist Chantel Girardi, who I actually met on one of these nights that Nick runs. She was on about 3 or 4 months ago. So what does Mrs. Red's Art Room do? We start the monthly online art classes next month. So it's gone from being bricks and mortar to an online class for ages 6 to 106. I've got art supplies that I sell online as well, so they are delivered to your door. Printable art lessons are just very cheap projects that you can download online, start from $5, and they're really good for teachers to use in the classroom, parents and homeschoolers. Mrs. Red's Art Room is now 100% online business and absolutely loving it. Won't go back to a bricks and mortar. No, no, no. Much prefer being able to serve the world. All right, so why am I, an art teacher, talking about Pinterest? I'm sure you're thinking that. Like I said, I was really working on my engine room of the business in 2020 and really got to know the platform. I listened to podcasts, I've read blogs, and I've received a lot of email marketing, which I've printed off, I've highlighted, I've activated. I have spent probably 50% of my working time delving into Pinterest. And the reason for that is basically, even though I don't describe Pinterest as a social media platform, it is one of those platforms that all entrepreneurs tell you focus on 2 platforms and be present on the rest. So my 2 are Pinterest and Facebook. And I've got a visual business, so Pinterest is really good for that. At the beginning of 2020, so a year ago, I had a Pinterest page, which was under my business name, had about 20 boards on it, which I'll explain what a board is if you don't know. And the boards were both personal and art related. One board was dedicated to my own works with only about 3 or 4 artworks on it. Not that it's got that many more on it yet. So basically my skill level of Pinterest was about 2 out of 10 a year ago. And now I'd be saying it's probably up close to 8, possibly 9, but I'll rate myself as 8. So in the chat box, I would love to hear from you as to what your level of Pinterest is. 1 being you've got no idea, you don't have a Pinterest account, you've never been on it, you're here to work that out. And 10 obviously being an absolute whiz at it. All right, so -2. Okay, I really like that. Excellent. All right, so that gives me a little bit of a gauge of where people are in regards to it. I created one board 6 months ago. Excellent. There you go. Well, at least you know what a board is, Selena. All right, perfect. And I didn't even have to delete my screen to be able to see that. So that was great. Okay, now this is the part of the slideshow which I don't know how to delete. So we just have to do that all again to move on. All right, so a few little statistics now. This is social media, and I'm including YouTube and Pinterest as social media for purpose of argument. This is per month in 2020 in Australia. So Facebook around 16 million with 2 billion worldwide who have got a Facebook account and on it per month. If you look down the bottom, which is where Pinterest is, it's at 290,000 with 320 million worldwide. So there's a massive difference between the two, but as you will find out, there is a lot of difference between the two platforms anyway. So don't let those numbers throw you as we go along. Now, this one is how many active accounts are in Australia. So this isn't per month, this is for 2020. And these statistics I have just pulled from pages in general and checked a couple of them to make sure that they were correct. So on this one, interestingly, Pinterest does crawl up a bit. Facebook, YouTube still being number 1, number 2, of people who are actually using their accounts on a regular basis. So there's a lot of people who may have a Facebook account but never ever get on it. So they wouldn't be counted in this statistic. Yeah, and so Pinterest is 7 million, so half of Facebook. So that makes it look a bit more promising. So why Pinterest then? Why should you have a Pinterest account? Inspiration, so just from personal reasons of recipes, house designs, etc., even art projects, there you go. Sharing, so people will share pins with their own friends. So they'll usually just, or what I do, if I've got to share a pin with my husband, I will screenshot it and just send him that screenshot. And other people, there is a share thing on there that you can actually share as well. But if you're going to someone who doesn't have a Pinterest account, as like my husband doesn't, then it's easy just to screenshot it and send in the picture. You do have to pay to advertise on the platform, but it's not, it doesn't sort of work on that pay to play like say Facebook does at all. Traffic, this is an important one. Organic traffic to website will rival all other social media platforms for most businesses. Not for all businesses, but for most. So your traffic, when you're doing a keyword search, Pinterest will come up if you are on Pinterest as a business. Evergreen, the lifespan of a pin is around 7 to 9 months. Now, if you think of like when you post something on Facebook or Instagram, you're looking at probably 7 to 9 minutes of life. And Pinterest, it is a slow burn. It is just like search engine optimization. It is a slow burn. When you post a pin today, it will not start gathering speed for at least 2 months. Like I just said, search engine. When you go to Google something, Pinterest will always appear. If you go into the image results of Google, usually Pinterest will be up there in that very first row. So it is a search engine in itself. So there's another argument to say that it's not social media. A few more statistics to go through. 81% are female. Of course we are, because we love to shop. So If your business targets females, then Pinterest might be for you, but there's also a lot of females that are searching on Pinterest for absolutely everything. This is a bit of a downside for us in Australia. 60% are still in the United States of America, and I'll talk more as well about the traffic, etc., to say my website. It is a Pinterest. I don't think Pinterest is owned by anyone. I'm not too sure, but it is massive in America. What it is in America is not what it is here at all. It's huge over there, but don't let that frighten you. Average time spent on Pinterest is 14 minutes. This is a good one. So 85% of women on Pinterest are using it to plan for life moments, compared to 44% on Instagram or 53% on Facebook. Again, you're capturing a really big audience in regards to that. 58% of them say it helps them make a shopping decision. Again, you may have a product that you put on Pinterest. It's not going to say that that person's going to buy your product, but it gets people thinking, and possibly you're the lucky one that they buy from. And 87% of Pinterest users make a purchase at some stage. Okay, so this is a screenshot from my Shopify store. I use Shopify for my website because I do have a lot of product on it. Now, here is the reason why I am on Pinterest. That sometimes YouTube comes up here as well, but it's down. Look at Instagram. Why would I put all my time and effort into Instagram when I am, like, this is this month, so we're into day 16. I took a screenshot of this last night. So is it 16th today? Yeah, so 15 days of February. And Facebook and Pinterest are pretty much, you know, sitting there happily together. So that traffic has come from those two sites to my website, which is what you want. So why most overlook Pinterest? You don't have enough time to learn another platform. That was me a year ago. And I probably had written for a good 2 years. I need to get myself on Pinterest. I need to, you know, I was always looking at it, but never actually being on it. You've never thought of it as a place to meet your ideal client, and you're not sure how to use it in a way that drives results. Okay, I did find this quote, I think it was this morning actually, in one of my emails that I received. Pinterest is not a social media platform. It is a search and discovery platform, meaning what you have done with great success elsewhere doesn't directly translate. So I agree to that it is not a social platform. Some people will call it a social platform. I don't think YouTube is a social platform either. Definitely a search and discovery platform. All right, so what I'd like to do again now is go back to our chat and we'll go through all of these questions. So let's go through them one at a time. I thought this slide was going to pop up one at a time. So who has a Pinterest account? Just say yes or no in the board, so I can just see who has actually got one. Yes, yes. Yes, Nick, I know you've got one because I actually looked at it. I think I might have even subscribed to it. Okay. Of those who said yes, is it a business account? Both we do set up. Actually, I should just make this chat a little bit longer. There we go, so I can see more. Yes, yes, good, good, good. Okay, no, yes, it's easy to change. Don't worry about that. Tell me what you go to Pinterest for. So those of you that do have an account, if you're quite active, well, we're going to ask that as well, but what do you search for? What on Pinterest? Me as an art teacher, I have been on Pinterest for probably, I'd say well over 10 years. And I have drawn probably 90% of my inspiration for art projects to teach people from Pinterest. So I've been on there for that. I've been on there for house renovations. We're renovating our house at the moment. So been looking at a lot of bathrooms and kitchens and boys' bedrooms, teenage boys' bedrooms, all things like that. Web design oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. Home redos, yes, Victoria, hello. Food styling, big on Pinterest. Food styling is huge. Recipes, heaps of recipes are on Pinterest. All right, perfect. Okay, so the next one is who is on Pinterest daily, weekly, monthly, or when inspiration calls. So for me, it is daily now, but it was probably weekly a year ago. Yearly. We're going to change that, Nick. We're going to change it. Hardly ever. Yep. When you see the amount of traffic that Pinterest is taking to my website, and the other thing about being an art business is I am literally a needle in a haystack when it comes to images of paintings and drawings and art supplies. I'm a needle in a haystack. So for my social traffic to be so high for Pinterest is a really good thing. Okay. And who pins on Pinterest? Does anyone actually pin their business or personal, like had the kitchen renovated and took a photo of it and pinned it on Pinterest? Yes to Alan. So for me personally, like I said, my Mrs. Red's art room board had, I think, 2 or 3 pins in it, and I had no idea what I was meant to do with them, so there was nothing to them. But that's all going to change tonight because that's why I'm teaching you. We do have some Bossio posts. Yes, you do. Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so this is where we're going to go through. Actually, we've talked about what Pinterest is, and how you can use it. Now we're going to actually go through Pinterest and show you how to get on it. It's really easy. I'm going to be flicking over to, I think there's 2 slides here, and then we're going to flick over to my Pinterest account so that you can actually see from there. So keywords are everything. Keywords need to be in your title, they need to be in your description, they need to be in your board's description, and they need to be in your post's description. Keywords, 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 because Pinterest is a search engine. I had that drummed into me. I've heard it so many times. It's all about the keywords. The name and the title, this is where I'll jump to the next one. All right, so this is just a screenshot of my page. I think it was yesterday I took this screenshot. So the name and the title, hang on, I've just got it written down here somewhere. Oh, where have I written it? Oh, yeah, here we go. I've just written on paper because I know I'm going to be jumping to my screen soon. So the name and the title is the one that's in bold here where it says Mrs. Reds. Now, Mrs. Reds is not a keyword. Unless you knew who I was, you would not be searching for Mrs. Reds. If you do search for Mrs. Reds, I tend to come up as #1 because I'm Mrs. Red, of course. But online art teacher, there's a keyword. Supplies shop, another keyword. I've already said online art again. So there's my keywords in my title. Then if we go to the next one is the description, your business description. So I've got my website listed there. And then again, some more keywords. Mrs. Red's is an online art room, monthly art classes, art supplies, printable art lessons. These are things that people are searching for, not necessarily on Pinterest, but I may hopefully pop up in a search engine result because of this. All right, so I think from here, oh yes, I don't want to tell you your homework. I'm going to jump out of there and go to here. All right, so we are now on my Pinterest page. Everyone can see that okay? Give me a thumbs up. Yep, great, perfect. So there's just like the screenshot that I was telling you about. Now, the wonderful thing is this monthly views, and that is correct there. 283,000 monthly views. Now, they're not all of my posts. They're of pins that I have saved as well, which I'm going to explain to you. But that is mind-blowing. Like, I don't get that kind of stuff happening on my Facebook account or my Instagram account, but I do in my Pinterest account. All right, so we're going to go to boards first and tell you what a board is. So these are all my boards here. Now, they're not in alphabetical order. If you want them in alphabetical order, you have to do that yourself. You can move them around, etc. But as you can see with all of my boards, there are keywords again. It is all keywords.
Jane, we can only see your PowerPoint presentation. We're not seeing Pinterest.
Okay, you are... Can you see my...
That's better.
My Instagram, my Pinterest page. So if I go up and down, I did get a little beep sound coming on before, and I didn't know what it was. So thank you for letting me know that. Okay, so I've jumped to. Did everyone see when I was pointing at the monthly views? That gets you really excited. It's just something personal for you to look. No, everyone gets to see that, by the way. It's not hidden. Everyone gets to see it. So these are my boards. Now, these are the boards that are visible. If we scroll down a bit further, you see a little padlock. They're the ones that no one else sees but me. When I was on a year ago, none of my boards were hidden. Everyone could see Gabby's bedroom, and I think there's even like boys' bathroom or something. Oh, there's my hairstyles and even my husband's hairstyles page. So everyone had access to that a year ago. You don't want people knowing your personal stuff. It's just not necessary. So keep it to business. You have to have a business account, but you keep your business boards open. Your personal ones can be on your business account, but you keep them hidden. There are other reasons why to keep that there as well. So again, we're looking at keywords. So if I go into one of these boards now, doodling with pens and paint, again, there is a description here. Oh, hang on, I'm just now controlling the screen. I think Dougie left and now he's back. Sorry. So this is the board description. So when I say keywords, keywords have to be everywhere. Pen, paper, doodling, watercolor, ink, drawings, color, and then my website, online art supply shopping. The annoying thing about being a visual business is the word colour in America is spelt differently to how we say it. Now, all of my board descriptions have got the word colour, and they also have watercolour. And watercolour can be spelt as two different words, and the colour can be spelt as two different ways. So it is really frustrating, but I stick to Australian or Western, I guess, I don't know what you'd call it, Australian spelling for colour, but it is annoying to have that. But I don't want to attract the Americans for a lot of this anyway. I want to attract the Australians. And then you scroll down. Now, with this board, I can't remember how many pins were in this board, but it's fairly obvious to see which one is one of my pins because it's got my logo written in it there. But these are all the pins that I save. Now, it's really important when you create a board, to actually start saving pins, because they become a pin on your board. And when someone else starts searching for certain things, they may see it on your board and pin it as well. And it just gives your account a little bit more credibility, a little bit more, you're an active member kind of thing. So we look down there, you can see it's obvious which ones are mine, because they've all got the logo there, and there's a lot of product shots on here as well, because it's only in the last couple of months that I've actually started marketing for the online art classes. So lots of product shots, but again, the title of the pin, you've got to get these keywords in. So I was really targeting these posts went out in November. So I was targeting Valentine's Day back in November, because it's a slow burn platform. These little numbers here, this is per month. So this is what's being seen per month. Now, they're not accurate. Sometimes you can get on and it will be over 1,000 views, and then you get on the next day and that same pin will be back to 13 views. So you don't want to read too much into that. There is analytics to Pinterest, which we're not going to get into today, because that's just a different kettle of fish altogether. I'd love to find one that's got, oh look, they're not even coming up now. What you really want to see is this one here, which is, I don't know if everyone can see me over this one. People, if there's a pin there, that means people are saving it. And if there is a number beside the arrow, that means people are clicking to your website. That's another thing. You really want that to happen. Okay, so we've done board descriptions. All right, we'll go back to, I'm just going to move things around a bit here. Just go back to the front page. So the followers and the following. Again, this is something that you just want to do to build credibility on your Pinterest page and make Pinterest know that you're an active user, and therefore your posts are going to get more, it's going to be more visible. So following, I think oh, that's right. That's what I was going to say also about boards. So my boards are very visual. So they all look really nice as they are. I kept this one here in figure drawing ugly so that I can show you how to change it. So that one there of the figure drawing was the board main picture. To make that different, hang on, I think I've got to go back. Oh yeah, so I don't click on the board. So I want to change that picture because that one looks awful. You just go into your little edit here and you can edit that picture there. So change board cover. So that one's a lot nicer to look at on a little thumbnail, much nicer than that other sketch that was on there. I had no idea how to do that until this year, and it bugged the crap out of me, having some ugly photos as my #1 photo. Now, the other thing that you can do, and it's purely up to you, is have a, I'm going to go to Hayley. So Hayley's the coach that I worked with for the first 6 months of last year, and she had a lot to do with me getting up on Pinterest. That's her boards there. So as you can see, you can actually design your boards. If your business is not something visual like mine is, you might want to actually do your own, you can do them in Canva, do your own little board thumbnails, just like Hayley has done there. So that is something purely up to you whether you do or not. To be honest, it's not a big thing. But I guess it just looks tidy if someone comes to your amount of boards, which doesn't happen often. But as you can see, I kind of think mine look fine the way they are, so I don't have to do that extra step. So we were going back to the followers and the following. This again is just, these are the people that I'm following. Usually they will be other artists or related to art. Red Ted Art is an American lady who does a lot of little projects for kids. Now, if I go to saved, it's really, really raining outside now, so I think I'm getting a bit of internet connection problem. So you can see her boards look a little bit, in the nicest possible way, they look a little bit more scattered than mine do, but that's because of what she is saving is just a little bit more text-based as well. But she's got all her keywords in there and everything like that. By me following her, it means that Pinterest will send me emails with things that she has posted. That's the main reason why you want to follow someone. And then if I go back to following, you don't have to follow everyone who follows you. So for me, I've only got 96 followers, hopefully a few more after tonight. But these are the people that follow me. So as soon as someone follows me, I will look in to see them and just check them out, see what they're into, see where they're from. Sometimes this is a personal account. It's obvious to see that. She's got nothing in her title there, and it's very much a very personal boards that she's saved. And no doubt she's in America as well. Okay, so on to creating a pin. Is everyone going okay? Everyone's thumbs up. I'm not boring anyone yet. How am I going for time? That's all right. Okay. All right. So now we're going to actually create a pin and pin it. So you can actually see how you do this and how easy it is to do this. So having a graphic design background means that I have a lot of experience with layout programs. So a lot of my pins were laid out from Illustrator, InDesign, and then onto Photoshop. If I go to here, this is what I'm talking about. These are all my pins that I have posted. So you can see as I scroll down here, I kind of think it's obvious. Those two there, the join and online art class, they've been done in Pinterest. These ones here have been done in InDesign, and then I've put them into Photoshop, and then I've put them up onto Pinterest. One thing that is really important, and I only found this out probably 3 months ago, is that Pinterest can detect text from an image. So I've got some really bad examples of what I mean down here. Let me find one. All right, so this one here, I'll even click on it so we get it even bigger. That there is just a visual. There's no text that's overlaid on that actual image. It is being done in InDesign, then into Photoshop, and then onto Pinterest. That text, printing essentials, is in a really illegible font for Pinterest. So printing essentials is a keyword for anyone who does a lot of printmaking. But the problem with that post is because of that fancy lettering, it's not going to get the engagement that I want. You can see I've put the keywords into the heading and the description, but that one is a bit of a fail. So I found that out about 3 months ago. So you can see the difference now. It is just really plain text so that Pinterest can scan these images, they can read that text, and they can put you where you want to go in regards to all the viewers. So we're going to put one of these pins up. This is a pin, and I'll show you how we get it done. So where am I going? I don't think I had a major crash happen right on 6 o'clock tonight. So I'm just going to open Photoshop up again because that's where my pin finishes before it goes on to Pinterest. Or maybe I don't need to worry about it. No, we won't worry about it. Okay, so you're on your Pinterest page. You haven't clicked anything. Hang on, I'm getting that sound again. Can everyone still see my Pinterest page? Because I just got the same sound that I got before. Just let me know if it disappears. I think the fact that I opened Photoshop confused it. Okay, so up the top of your Pinterest page is create, and you are going to create a pin, not an ad. I've only pinned one ad before in my time, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I wasted about $15, and before I scrapped it and went, yeah, no, you need to do that the right way. Okay, so we are about to post a pin. So we'll start with the image. You've created your pin, and there's homework for you. For anyone who actually wants to get on Pinterest, there's going to be homework for you tonight. You can tell I'm a teacher, can't you? Okay, so I'm clicking onto Pinterest, onto the image, and I'm going to go down to, I know you guys don't know what I'm doing here, but I kind of do. We'll go for that one there. All right, so we're going to throw that one in. Once you put your image up, and you cannot pin without an image. So if you forget to put the pin in, which I have done a couple of times, you cannot publish. It will not let you publish without an image. Then you go over to here. So it is just automatically put me into one of my boards. I have got a lot of boards. I don't know how many I've got, probably 50. You can see which ones have got the padlock on them. You're not going to put them in there because no one's going to see them. We might put it in, just to keep it easy, we're going to put it into the Art Journal Tempters one. Then we're going to go for a classic keyword title. So I'm just going to keep it really like what I've been doing all for the last 2 weeks. Online art classes for the whole family. It will tell you what your word count is as well. And it's very helpful. Your first 40 characters of what it usually shows, and I've gone to 60, but I've got online art classes. That's what I want people to know. Then you go to your description and you say, Mrs. Red has now started doing online art classes. There's that keyword again. And no matter where you are in the world, you can take an art class over a Zoom call. Learn how to paint and draw like the pros. So again, paint and draw. I've put those ones in. Then we're going to go to destination link. Oh, this is actually a new feature, add alt text. So anyone who knows their search engine optimization on their website knows about that. That is again keywords. So I'll just keep it very, very quick. Online art classes. Yeah, that's a new feature. So I need to start to remember to keep doing that. Destination link is where you want people to go. Now, of course, mine is hidden. Okay, I'm just going to have to put it in myself. All right, so that's on there. Now,
just change your link to HTTPS.
Oh, thank you. That would not be good. And Pinterest wouldn't tell me that either. If I'd made a mistake, they're not going to say anything. It's just going to be there. Now, like it's third-party programs like Later that you can schedule pins. So I could hit publish immediately, and that's going to go out immediately. Or you can do publish later. Now it's in the American way of date. So it's the second month, the 17th day, 2021. We can change that. You can only change it for 2 weeks. That's quite a new feature as well. And the reason for that is Pinterest wants everyone to have really fresh stuff being uploaded. So they don't want you to schedule a month of posts all in one day and not have that fresh look happening all the time. So you can only go 2 months into, and it almost looks like it's, sorry, 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 weeks into advance to schedule a post. So I'm not going to choose that. I'm going to go with publish immediately so that you can all see it. It's in art journals, remember? That is it. That's it. We have just done a pin. Was that easy, everyone? It's that easy. So if I now publish that, that's going to go into that board. Art journal created a pin. See your pin. I can do that. I'm going to show you anyway. So if I go into my saved, which is my boards, and I go into that art journal one, art journal tempters down here. And there's that pin that I've just posted. And you can see it's got absolutely no letting you know who's seen what, purely because I've just uploaded it. And it takes about 12 hours for your results to start showing. It is a slow burn, like I said. So this one here, Do You Love to Doodle? That one has been, I reckon I did that one about 3 months ago. Now that has had 76 impressions in the last month and 1 saved. Now that's only for this, like the last 30 days. So that one is now probably at its strength 3 months on. So remember what I said about a slow burn and that you have to post things in advance, at least 2 months in advance for Pinterest, so that you can start pushing. Like I'm pushing Easter now. So my art classes I'm pushing, but I'm also starting to push Easter because that's going to be, I think it's mid-April this year or beginning of April. So that's that. All right.
That's the question, Jane.
Yep.
With the views or the impressions, is that on the feed or is that when you click on it and it takes note that you've clicked on it to look at it in more detail? Because like the feed, because it's not really true if it's in the feed.
Yes, that's right. No, that is someone who has clicked on that post.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you now how to save a pin as well. And that's whoever I go to will notice that. So that is people who have actually clicked on that pin, but they haven't saved it. It hasn't just scrolled past them in a feed. So we need to now search for something. These keywords that are up there are not something I have searched, by the way. They are recent searches. So there we go. There's what people have been searching for. Buffalo cauliflower. I think I'll pass on that one. So we might go watercolor inspire, and it should start coming up as well. So I'm putting watercolor with a OU, and I'm also putting watercolor as a 1 word. So I'm going to get mainly the UK and Australia people posting. So here's all the results of this. Now, the one thing that you will never find is your own pins. Pinterest will not bring up your own pins. And I found that out the hard way as well, because I was searching and searching and searching and wondering why my pins weren't coming up. And then I realized that that's the reason why. It's very hard to track your stuff just organically. You have to go into your analytics. So this is all inspiration. So I might want to say that I like this one here. Now, I have highlighted it. I have not clicked on it. So Michelle, just because I'm seeing all these pins doesn't mean it's being counted. Maybe that I'm hovering over it does, I'm not too sure. But I'm going to click on it because I like that one. And I'm going to save that in my watercolor board. So put in watercolor. Oh, it hasn't come up yet. There should be a painting and drawing with watercolor. So I'm just going to save it into that board. Now, me doing that, is that still, can everyone still see my screen? I've got another little beep. Because I did that, I have saved somebody else's pin. Pinterest loves that. They're going to be happy with me that I have just saved someone's pin. And then the great thing about this, and this is where people can just spend hours and hours and hours, me being the worst at it, when you click on one image, it will then bring up thousands more that relate to that one. And you just go, oh my God, that is beautiful. Okay, so I've seen this one here. I'm not going to click on it, but I'm going to save it. And that's the other thing. Pinterest has actually gone, you probably want to save that in doodling and watercolor. And yes, I do Pinterest. So I'm not going to go through my boards. I'm just going to click save. So that has gone to my other board, a different board. And it's saying that. You cannot save one pin in two different boards either. But you want a good amount of boards. You want at least between 10 and 40 if you really want to make yourself known on Pinterest. So that is that, saving a pin and creating a pin. Hopefully you found that easy. It wasn't easy to me. If I go to my the other thing that I've done, and I was told to do this, was that you put your board of, for me, for my artworks at the front. So mine isn't in alphabetical order, but my Mrs. Red original artworks are at the front. Now, I'm guilty in saying I have not posted enough or barely anything. Probably 5% of my artworks I have actually posted on Pinterest, and that's just me being naughty. But these ones down here, so this flamingo here, there is no title, there is no description, there is nowhere to send you to this image. That's what my experience was a year ago. I went, oh, I've got this drawing I've done and I'm going to put it on Pinterest and people are going to find me and yay. And it didn't happen. And because of that, because it's sitting there without one keyword with it, it has had one person who just happened to scroll past it and click on it in the last month. So I need to go through my own artworks and actually put titles, descriptions, and where you can go if you like that pin as well. So I need to do that for my own. Okay, Nick, do you mind if I go back to the PowerPoint presentation now?
Yep, good as gold.
Lovely. Now it might, I'm getting to know this program even better now. Okay, so we've gone back to there, play from current slide. So what I wanted to do for anyone who is interested on improving their search results on Pinterest, I have a little bit of homework for you. And we'll bring these ones up. Basically, first, if you haven't already got a business account, open a business account. It's as easy as just writing in, I think it's like a button, like a little option that you can do. So you want to check it, and you also want to, what's the word? You've got to link it to your website so that your website gets its results. And it's not hard to do. It's just a tag that has to be put in, a little bit like the Facebook, what's it called? Can't think of what it's called.
So,
what was it, Nick?
Facebook pixel.
That's
like
it,
that.
Pixel, yes. It's like a Pinterest pixel. That's the only thing that you have to do so that you can see the traffic coming to your website. So open up a business Pinterest account, create 10 boards relating to your business. So think of those keywords. Think of keywords that people search for that are going to bring your business up. and create boards relating to them. At least 10. You want minimum 10, because you need to put these posts that you're creating into your own boards. And if you've got less than 10, it's just, you're going to be full of your own posts and not pinning anyone else's. So in these boards, before you start pinning in them, save at least 15 to 20 pins before you actually post your own one. Take one product or service and create 5 different templates. Now, I did want to show you this on Canva, but I'm not going to switch screen again because I don't want it to get annoyed at me. In Canva, I will create 5 different templates, and then I will put that one art product into those 5 different templates. They'll have keywords written in the template like I showed you before. It might just say Liquitex ink or something like that, and 5 different designs, 5 different colors, 5 different images. Pinterest will scan it. If they see something that looks exactly the same as the other pin that you did, that pin is not going to gain traction. They have to be different. So create 5 different templates for all of your products. They don't have to be 5 new ones for each product. I'm not explaining myself properly. Just 5 templates that you can drop every product or every service into. Heaps of photos. You need heaps of photos, but you can get them on Canva as well now. So that's easy. Start pinning these templates 1 per day for 5 days. So from Monday to Friday, you've got your 5 templates now created, ready to go. Start pinning them 1 a day. You can do them all in 1 day if you want. Remember, you can schedule for the next 4 days, or you just get onto Pinterest and you do it yourself each day. Sorry, Mary's just jumping back in. So do that with that, and do that until you're in the habit. So it might take a month of doing that, but at least you're starting to be seen. You're getting your boards out there. It's a slow burn, so you can take your time with this. It's not going to change overnight for you. When in routine, start with the next product or service and start pinning 2 templates per day, and then grow to 3. So with mine, which is the high 200,000 per views per month, that was me pinning up to 4 pins per day. And then I reduced it to 3, but I went for 7 days at a time. And now I'm in the habit, and because I've got traffic, Pinterest knows I'm an active person. I'm pinning and I'm saving pins daily. I'm on there daily. I'm helping others be seen while I'm doing the same for myself. So Pinterest likes me. I'm now posting 1 to 2 pins per day, but I'm saving probably up to 10 pins of other people's artworks. And that's enough for me to have such a high monthly take. I think that's every day save 10. Yeah, so I've already said that. Every day save 10 to 20 pins from other people. Now, I'm pretty sure that is it. I want to sort of like bring it back to Nick as well. I do have a prize to give away, but Nick, if there's any questions that popped up in the chat that I didn't see, or I might stop sharing. Oh no, I won't stop sharing yet because I've got my the next thing on there. But if anyone's got any questions, please fire away.
Yeah, I was busy writing down my homework, so I've got a lot to do tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's going to be sitting there so take a screenshot of it, take a photo of it. Like I said, with this homework, and remember that shot I showed you of my social traffic to my website just in 15 days, that grew. This time last year, Pinterest never came up. And then all of a sudden it was starting to come up. I was like, oh my gosh, people are coming from Pinterest. This is exciting. And then it took over Instagram really quickly. And I learned really quickly that Instagram is not where I need to spend my time. As much as I'm a very visual business, people who like me on Instagram are not there to support me. They're there just to, I don't know, check out my stuff and get inspiration and move on to the next post. You want to make this productive, but also manageable. So that's why I'm saying start with 1 pin per day for 5 days. Don't do the weekends. And but by a month, you should be into a good habit so that you can increase it to 2. You don't want to. I haven't started pinning the pins that I created in February last year. I could now start pinning again, because those pins have got a life of about 7 to 9 months. So I'm in that safe area that they've probably had their day. They're not going to really come up in people's searches anymore. So I can actually use them again. And I know that sounds exhausting, but remember, it's a slow burn. So you can start slowly, because Pinterest is only going to show your stuff slowly.
So does that mean, Jane, that you delete your first pin and then you pin it again, or you
delete it? No.
Okay.
No. And I mean, the thing is, you really, you know how when I did the example of a a pin description, and I just wrote it out of my head. You want to keep doing that. You don't want to have text that you want to copy and paste into your posts, because you don't want to repeat words. You want to come up with, like, when I was posting 4 a day, it was a little bit of a brain, I want to swear, but I can't think of another word. It got really boring and frustrating. But it's easier just to write what comes out of your head. You always post the link to your website. And a lot of those pins, I was posting the link to the actual product. So I'd go into paintbrushes and then go into Jazz Art paintbrushes, and then I'd post that link, because that was the Jazz Art paintbrush that I was pinning about. So if you use the same pins from a year ago, you're going to probably put them into a different board, and you dare say you're going to write different text. So it's not going to be an exact match for something that you've done.
All right. Any other questions here?
Yeah, can I ask something? Now, Jane, like, my product's to do with the travel industry, but on my Pinterest itself, I've got boards of food and craft and hobby things.
Yeah.
Is it still okay if I'm saving 10 to 20 of that, of my crafty things and gardening things and all that, as opposed to the travel part, which is more my business?
Yes, I think it is, because I've done a lot of that. We've done an extension in 2019, and then we're now doing the renovation to the old part of the house. So the other thing is, Pinterest will send you emails every few days of more pins that you might like. And a lot of those renovation images that I've been saving come up in those emails. So I think Pinterest doesn't mind that, because I'm still saving people's stuff. It's just going into a personal. And
you're still using the whole system.
You are. You're still active. Okay. You're an active member on Pinterest.
Okay.
Pinterest wants you to save as much as you post. Yeah, so that doesn't matter. Good question.
Yep, thank you.
I'm just having a look at the chat, seeing if there was anything there.
Anyone else?
Selena, amazing. Looks like a lot of work. That's what I mean by, if you're going to get onto Pinterest, it is a slow burn, so you go slow as well. Don't let it overwhelm you. And by all means, actually follow the Mrs. Red's page and keep looking at my pins, and go into a pin and see my keywords. Like, remind yourself through mine. I don't mind you doing that. And this is the other thing, Canva. Canva for me, because I have the graphic design background, Canva was a bit of a like, oh, I don't need Canva. I know how to lay out an artwork, blah, blah, blah. Well, I decided to bite the bullet about 6 months ago, and I bought the Canva Pro or whatever it is. And it is amazing. It is just the best thing that I've ever come across. And I love the fact that it was actually someone in Australia that has come up with it as well. And there are Pinterest pins in Canva. So the size I think is 1,000 pixels by 1,500 pixels, but Canva actually has those pin sizes ready to go. All you got to do is stick your image in and put your keywords in. And Canva also has a big photo stock library as well as Unsplash, which is all free as well. Obviously, I take all of my own photography. That's the setup behind me there. All my products, because I just have to. It's just easier for me to do that. And I love doing it as well.
Excellent. All right. Well, I think we're almost done, unless anyone's got any last minute questions there before we finish up.
So Alan has actually asked, how important is it to have text on an image? I've tested it without and with, like some of my posts will just have the image and my logo. And to be honest, I don't know whether they go any better or worse than another one. I haven't seen that. I am probably at the 1,000 mark of the amount of pins that I have done in the last year now. So it is hard to see, and you can see it all. There's a little tag that says analytics, and you can go into that. It's just, you need to explore that yourself. It's just, that's a whole other webinar.
Can I ask, is that what I thought that's what you meant by templates, is creating a template for one type of product. Is that not what you meant?
Okay, I will go back.
Yeah.
New share. I'll go back to okay, so these are my templates. These are for the online art classes. So I have in Canva these templates. So these are my pins. Templates, pins, same thing. But you'll see down here this lobster with its little bit of type down there.
So Jane, you were referring to Canva templates.
Canva templates. I think Canva's the easiest one to use if you don't have the graphic design programs that I've got. So that layout I've used for 2. Now there was another one, this one. So this is one product. This is a good example. This is one product, Winsor & Newton Galleria Acrylics. There's one template. There's another template. So I've created 5 templates. Now what I can do for the next product is take these photos out and put the new photos in, and then just change it, because it might be an ink.
Yeah.
So I might say Liquitex drawing ink rather than Winsor & Newton acrylic paint. So
you post one of these each day?
Yeah, the templates don't have to change. That particular one I thought was just the prettiest bloody template I've ever created, and it gets absolutely no traffic.
Yeah, that's what I meant about the words on an image. So you're saying that it's better to post with like that sort of graphic over the top to sort of get people to click? Or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. So I think I've done this one, Liquitex inks. There's one, I thought there was one. No, there's not. No, they've all got text. Well, there was one there where it was just basically the bottle, no text, and just my logo.
Doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something you've got to try.
Yeah. And I just have another question. When you were scrolling through your your sort of feed, I didn't see any images that had clicks to the website. So I'm really curious to know, like, well, because you said that Pinterest produces a lot of sales for you. Is there like some kind of, like, I don't know,
It
some
actually
posts that do
doesn't
really
produce,
well?
it's only produced a couple of sales. So,
Oh, okay.
and the only way I know that is because I've asked the customer who's come straight to the Shopify store, how did you find me? And unfortunately, it's only been 2. A lot of people click onto my website, but they don't then purchase. So I have a conversion problem then, which I have to sort out.
Right. Oh, okay. Because sorry, I thought you were saying that it was producing lots of sales for you, but I was
No,
like, oh,
no.
this is
no.
the issue with mine, is that I see lots of impressions but no clicks. So I don't know if people just aren't interested in what we're doing, or if it's not, doesn't have the right keywords, or maybe there's like some kind of attribution window where maybe if someone bought down, within 7 days or something, then it would say that that came from Pinterest. So
You can go into that analytics. Can you see that on my screen? Into the analytics there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go into these. I'm not going to go into them because they really are. You've got to sit there and look at them forever to learn them. But the other thing I was going to mention as well is Tailwind. Has anyone heard of Tailwind?
Mm-hmm.
It's a third-party program for Pinterest. So Tailwind, again, it's American. I subscribed to it about 6 months ago, and basically Tailwind does all your pins and everything for you. It tells you when is the best time of day to pin and all this, that, and the other. And it did make it easy. But what happened is, because it's American, it started showing all of my stuff back to America. So all of a sudden, people weren't coming back to my website. My Pinterest traction went down, and even though the views per month were up, it was all from America. And so if I go into analytics, and I don't want to do it because it will scare you, Australia at the moment, because I only just got off Tailwind a month ago, Australia is about the 5th country that is being, like, I'm way down. I need to get that back up. So I've got off Tailwind. I don't recommend Tailwind for Australia. It's not expensive to be on it, and it is a time saver, but at the same time, it's going to direct all your traffic to America, and you don't want that. So I've got off that. I don't know if that answered your question or not, though.
I think it's about conversions and things. That's always a problem with e-commerce stores, and you get a lot more lookers than you do conversions, and it's more so with e-commerce, I think. It's probably just one of those things of testing and measuring, just constantly testing and measuring, and seeing what gets you those conversions. And there could be that window too, that between when they first come through to when they purchase.
That's right. And remember what I said about these numbers is that you cannot rely on them, because one day they can be over 1,000 and then they can be 5 the next day. So someone's clicked on that pin and gone to my website in the last month, that brush show one that I'm sort of focusing on at the moment. So someone's gone there. But yeah, my account is still recovering from the Tailwind. And I did tell them that as well. I gave them a bit of feedback and said, hey, we're in Australia here, and all of my traffic's been diverted to America, and I'm losing all my traffic.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, that was a very, very interesting presentation tonight. Like, there's Pinterest is not a platform that I've used much at all. And it's been interesting while you're talking. I hooked up my website and did all those little things as well too. But I'm looking forward to exploring it over the next month, because I can really see, particularly looking at one of your mentors over in the States. Who was that? Haley? Was it Haley?
Haley Luckadoo.
Yeah, just looking at her page there, I could really see how we could use it in our business, being a digital marketing business. So some really good opportunities. So Yeah, so thank you for that. And I appreciate the fact that you put the time in to come and show us how the whole thing works. So thanks, Jane.
Thank you.
And we do have you do have a giveaway or something today. Do you want to tell us about that?
I do. Okay, so my online art classes are starting in March. I would love to offer anyone the art class for free who's in this participating with us tonight. And the reason for this is because it is starting in March. I need to gain an audience, and for me giving you a free art class, I'm asking for your feedback, your testimonial, your just your feedback and your testimonials for that month. You personally don't have to do the art class if you don't want to, but you may have a family member who you think would love to do it. So they've got to be between the ages of 6 and 106, but I would love more adults than kids because we never sit down and do something for ourselves.
Awesome. Oh, that's excellent. So how do we join?
Okay, so you've just got to go to my website, which is up there now, very easy to remember. And like I said before, even though Mrs. Red is not a keyword, if you type Mrs. Reds into Google, you pretty much will come up with me. There is a Mrs. Reds shed in Melbourne which sells furniture, but you'll clearly not get me. Okay, so this offer is only up for 24 hours. So this is the code BOSSIO24, which is Business Owners Smashing It Online 24. And the code will run out at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And it is only for a single person to join the March art class. And on the website, when you go to the website and you go to online art classes, you'll actually see what supplies you need for that month. And it is basic art supplies. You need colour pencils and cartridge paper, I think, to be able to do that.
I suppose we can get that from you too, can't we?
You can for I think it's a 20% discount.
Even better.
Yeah, but I just need to I have got a few people who have paid for the class, but I really want, busyness attracts busyness. And I'd prefer to have a few more people in there. And thank you for listening to me tonight. And this is my little thank you to you. If you'd like to join the art class for a month. What do you reckon, Nick? Do you reckon
Sounds pretty good to me. Sounds excellent to me. So I probably need to get some of my art skills up because I still haven't done my peacock yet.
All right, I'll stop sharing now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, Jane. That's been a sensational evening. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope everyone else here has enjoyed it and has got some homework to take away with you as well too. I'm going to look forward to exploring that over the next few days. Probably not just me. I've got JM and Lorena here who are going to be doing some of the artwork and text and things as well. So I do have a bit of a hand with it. But I think the important thing is just getting those keywords and getting those boards up with those keywords. So that there has really given me some, I suppose, some steps to really go forward with it. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, so we have tomorrow office hours at 10 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. That link is in chat now. So if you want to come and talk Pinterest or anything else sort of online side of things, you got questions about how things are working in your business, online, you need a recommendation for an app or a tool, or you just want to hang out with some other business owners and just chat about business and online stuff. Come along tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Bring a cup of coffee, cup of tea, glass of wine, whatever you have at that time in the morning. And it's 10 o'clock Queensland time. So if you're out of Queensland, if you just click on the link in chat there, it'll take you through and tell you what time zone it is there. Then we've got, this replay for this will be up on our YouTube channel. So if there are bits there that you want to look over again, just subscribe to the Smash Go YouTube channel, links in chat as well. And I'd love you to subscribe too, because we're trying to get up there to get our vanity name as well. So we just don't have the string of numbers and things. So go and subscribe to that and you'll get a notification when it comes up. And I think that's about it. We do have the recurring revenue challenge. We ran a 5-day series on how to generate and implement recurring revenue strategies in your business. Those replays are still up, and the program, which is going to be running for the next 12 months, which is covering off 1 recurring income strategy a month. So we'll go through that fully so that you can look at ways to implement that in your business as well too. So that's open. Again, the link is in chat there as well. So hopefully you all enjoyed tonight. Thank you for staying sort of on. We're a little bit later than normal, but the information has been really good, so well worth it. So thanks again, Jane, and thanks again, everyone, for coming along. And see you next week.
Everyone. I'm a typical teacher. Love to talk.
Excellent. All right, well, have a good night, and we'll see you all tomorrow or next week.